Hi, Glitterheads. I wanted to show y'all first this little beaded lizard that I made. I don't know if you'll be able to really see it. This little lizard guy. He's so cute. And yeah, I made him with some like just leftover beads and some string I had, and it's fun to stim with. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that I made this because I'd forgotten that my sister used to make me a whole bunch of these little beaded creatures when we were little. And a pattern popped up on my Pinterest feed one day, and I was like, saved. And then in the past month, I made this. So yeah, so yeah, it's just cute. Um, but yeah, once I began playing with it, I remembered like I loved these when I was little, because I could discreetly stim with it by rolling the beads. And my sister was such a good sister, and she would just make them for me. And she made me a whole bunch of different ones, like lizards, dragonflies. I think she made me a scorpion at one time. It obviously didn't hold the shape because it's beads, but still. um, but yeah, she always was so creative, and she inspires me to be creative. And I just love that she shared that part of her with me in the past. So yeah, but yeah, so go ahead and take a little puff. Yep. Excuse me. Yeah. So, yeah. So, getting me. So, I wanted to talk about these two social interactions that I had at my place of work, that were so similar to each other, but so different. And they brought up some memories involving my parents that I hadn't exactly processed yet. And so I wanted to talk about them. um, because yeah, I guess they're like triggers that made memories pop up, and so I thought they're kind of important, and I just wanted to talk about it. So, um, I got hit on one day by a regular at my place of work, and they asked me for my number, and I just said, "Oh, I'm married, but I appreciate it," and like moved on and kept, doing their transaction. And he was just like, "Oh, no worries," like super chill. He smiled and was like, it didn't feel uncomfortable. He's just like, "Oh, like I shot my shot, and the worst that could have happened was being told no, and that's all that happened, and so we're good, no harm, no foul." Like that's essentially how the interaction felt. I didn't feel uncomfortable. He didn't make me feel uncomfortable. Like we were still very pleasant interacting with each other, and like it was fine. Like the whole interaction was fine. We ended on smiles and like have good days and everything. It was a good interaction, even though like I declined his flirt essentially. um but yeah, so like it was not a big deal though. And then literally the next day I got hit on by a different person, someone I didn't recognize. So I don't think they're a regular. Even if they were, it doesn't matter. But I just didn't recognize them, and like that's my point. So I didn't know like who they were. Um, and the interaction went something like this. Also, I was alone this morning, and all the customers knew I was alone because I was popping my head over and say with the window open, saying, "I'll be over in just a minute. Let me finish this." And because I was like making their thing and then walking over and doing the transaction because I was by myself for a little bit that morning. And so, um, so yeah, so this interaction with this different customer went like something like this, where I said, "Do you have a phone number for rewards today?" And he said, "No, but I'll take your number." And I said, "Oh, I appreciate that, but I'm married." And like proceeded with the transaction. But then this man asked me every single time, asked me for my number every single time I faced him in the interaction, smiling at me creepily every time I was looking towards him. I kept saying, "No, I'm married." But I wasn't like being like, "No, I'm married." I was just like, "No, I'm married. No, I'm married. No, I'm married." Like I just was being stern about it. And then he kept going out of his ways to touch my hands as I was passing him things for his order. And with all customers, I intentionally try to hand out items in a way that they won't need to touch my hands um, as they grab it. And, but like this guy just kept literally caressing my hands every chance he could and like leering at me like he was hungry the whole time. And still asking me, "Can I get your number? Can I get your number? Can I get your number?" And once I handed the last part of his order out, he asked me again for my number. And I said, "No, I am married." And he began to ask me again. And I just pointed. I wear a band when I'm at work, but I just turned and I pointed at my finger and I just went and turned and turned. It didn't interact again. And God. And he was still leering at me, still smiling because he could tell I was uncomfortable, like just still being an absolute creep. And I think he even scoffed a little, like as I turned away from him that final time. And it's just like such similar interactions, but so different. And one way is the correct way to go about something like that, and the other way is not the correct way to go about something like that. And just, yeah, it was totally different that second day interaction versus the day before, like so different. And I even saw the previous day customer that day, and like the interaction was still very polite, very positive. It was very comfortable. He did not leer at me. He did not mention the previous day. Like he simply smiled, we smiled, and had a pleasant interaction. Like, and like, God, it's just no means no. Not maybe, not let me convince you otherwise, not let me wear you down until you finally say yes by repeating the question over and over and over again. Like, it doesn't matter that I'm married. Like, even if I was single and I said no, no means no. And like, just also don't hit on people when like you're at their place of work. That's just not appropriate. You are potentially putting that person in a very awkward situation where they might not feel like they can say no because it could potentially reflect poorly on their customer service skills. Like, that in of itself just kind of bothers me. It's like, don't hit on people at their place of work, especially if you go there often. Like, I mean, with the first customer, it's fine, but I'm just saying, like, it's just, I don't know, just not exactly the appropriate place and time, in my opinion, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. But I just, yeah, like, I was just really proud of myself, like how I handled the interaction with that second, or with both of the customers, because neither one of them put me into a people pleasing, fawning uh mode. You know, I like, because in the past I would have been a lot nicer. I would have like been a much more people pleaser and smooth over the situation and pretend to be sweet and like flattered the entire time, no matter how uncomfortable the other person was actually making me. Like, I would have been more like, "Oh my gosh, that is so sweet, but I'm married. Thank you." And then he'd ask again, and I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I really appreciate it, but thank you so much." And like, it would have just have been like that in the past. Whereas this time I was like, "I told you no once. No, 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 no." Like, ugh, so frustrating how many people just think it doesn't matter. Oh, no isn't a real stern, solid answer. I can change their mind. Like, what? What about? What about? No. Oh, well, whatever. We all know that it's just predatory bullshit. But, it's so frustrating. And like today, I'm not going to talk about the memories like that these interactions brought up for me. Um, just not yet, because if I do, this episode would be like 2 hours long, and I don't want to do that for you and for me, just because I don't want to sit here that long and do this in one go. But like, I did want to say, like, with these interactions and with the memories that I'm going to talk about in the near future, like, it just made me really realize that I grew up in a home where my parents did not protect me, my sister, or my brothers from predators. Like they left my brothers, me, and my sister with my mother's brother, who she claims abused her. He left us, or they left us alone with him all the time. Like my oldest brother even seemed to look up to that uncle for a really long time until that uncle screwed him over. Like, and this uncle that we spent a shit ton of time with, you guys, like, this man that my parents allowed us to spend unsupervised time with gave both of my brothers porn because he didn't need it anymore. And like, or that's what they told me. And the fact that I even knew that my brothers had porn is not okay, because I was a teenager when I was told that by my brothers and found it in their rooms. Like, because I'm a nosy little sister and I was looking through shit, but like, still, still, they didn't need to tell me what it was. They didn't need to tell me who gave it to them. Like, that was not necessary. And anyways, like my parents left me and my sister alone with our brothers when they were fully aware of the fact that their sons were sexually assaulting girls they had access to. And after it was too late, my father only protected my sister, but did nothing to protect me from his sons. My parents allowed an adult man who was not able to control his erections to be around me and my siblings for most of our childhood, even after we would protest and protest about not wanting this person to be a part of our lives, to be in our house, to be around us. They still allowed this person to come around. Yeah, just my parents only ever made an effort to protect us from inappropriate behaviors if it was coming from a person of color. That's the kind of house I grew up in. Like they taught us it was okay to be made uncomfortable by sexual behavior if it comes from old white men, and or disabled men. The reason why is because it was cute to be sexually harassed by them. Cute. It like I'm like, what the fuck? And I lived it. Because what the fuck? All right. I'm going to end today's episode with a tarot card reading, which will be available on the YouTube channel. And if we're watching here on the YouTube and this is not something you're interested, that is okay. No worries. Thank you for listening to me share about my life. Have a good rest of your day. Be safe, and I hope to see you next time. So, yes, now we're going to read tarot, and I'm going to pull from the Wild Unknown Tarot, which is one of the decks I got. I have all right, so yeah, we're gonna be pulling from this deck. Card on the bottom is strength. So yeah, let me shuffle. Oh, and I do like to cleanse these with smoke as well if I have it available. All right, shuffle a few times. Source, we're asking for a single card draw to end today's episode on, to leave everybody with, to take with them with however it resonates, and hopefully is good. We can find the good in it. We are searching for just one card, please. I'm hearing something, but we'll see what happens here. Okay. I heard the strength card, but we're gonna do the strength card with this card that just came out. All right, so we have got the Six of Wands, I believe, if I'm reading my numeral correctly there. Look this baby up. Yes, it is the Six of Wands. Oh, I did it. All right. So the key words here are victory, success, and rising up. From the dark and tangled branches emerges a butterfly. New life takes flight. If you're not reveling in the joy of success already, you will be soon. The Six of Wands is a card of victory, of rising up against the odds. The obstacles have been relentless, but now is not the time to look back upon them. The more pressing question is, where will you go with your new set of wings? Yeah, I feel like that applies with for me in the way that my reaction to situations that before I would fawn, I don't do that anymore, apparently. I mean, I proved that to myself with that interaction, and it's exciting. It really is. Like, I'm really proud of myself. And yeah, I just want to say, like, I hope everyone gets a chance to stand up for themselves, in a way that's appropriate, and when it's appropriate, and when it's actually a necessary thing and not just an entitlement thing. Because safety is important. Like, feeling safe is so important. And like, doing it, creating it for myself. It's so cool. Okay. Yeah. So here's the card again. The beautiful blue and green butterfly. All right, and I looked through the deck and I found the strength card so I could show y'all. Rose and the infinity symbol, which I love the infinity, especially because Autism Awareness Month. So yeah. But yeah, and then I just wanted to also read you what it says about the card in here. Oh, and the author of this is Kim Kranz, by the way. All right, strength is the number 11 in the major arcana. And strength is the mastery of emotions. It's common to think of this card as the roaring, devouring side of the lion. But look again, the strength this card suggests is a much deeper force that's found within. The lion represents our most patient, composed self. He's a master of focus, compassion, and self control. When this card comes up, you're in need of harnessing this power for yourself. When this card comes up, you're in need of harnessing this power for yourself. All the courage you need can be found in the muscle known as the heart, which I felt like applied to what I talked about today because I was able to control my reaction and not fawn, but stand my ground and protect myself. Fight, essentially. Like, yeah, it's just really cool to see the change. I'm excited for what's coming next, what the future holds. It's gonna be good, y'all. Yeah. So thank you guys again for being here while I talk about life and stuff. I appreciate it. I appreciate the space to do this. Take care. I will see y'all next time.